So today I wanted to share something with you about perception that Venerable Children gave me a couple of years ago. It's actually about negative thinking, which is something that we do with our, follows our perception, ties in with our perception sometimes. And there are 4 different pages that she gave me about this a couple of years ago, and every once in a while I pull them out. And this is one that is worth transcribing and putting on your puja table. So I'll just read it as it is first. Let alone directly perceiving the Buddhas as they really are, we cannot directly perceive ordinary beings as they really are. Sometimes we tend to have a negative view of someone due to superimpositions of how bad the person is. In fact, they may not be as bad as we impute them to be. If we think negatively of a person when we merely see him, we become unhappy. As soon as he begins to speak, we become unhappy. That's the thing that I find most interesting in this, is just watching your mind. A person walks in the room, they haven't done or said a thing, and your mind is already like off to the races. It could be either attachment or aversion. It's kind of all the same, this perception. But is this person really as bad as he appears to us? If that was the case, that the person is really so bad, then everyone should see the person the way you do. Is that the case? I don't think so. Everyone should dislike him, be unhappy in his presence when hearing him speak. But instead there are people who really like him, find him attractive and concordant with their mind. So we all have these projections that do not accord with reality, and therefore, let alone directly perceiving Buddhas as they really are, we cannot even directly perceive ordinary beings as they really are. That makes us really pause and think about when we have doubts around the Buddhas, to see what we're doing with like everything. You know? So this is really our own fault. Our conceptualizations, superimpositions, and projections due to our non-virtuous mind. And then this is the coming into the disadvantages of doing this. If we tend to see things in a negative way, then we need to work on transforming our mind. If we do not do this, our mind will become worse and worse. And that's absolutely been my experience. If you let negative thoughts kind of just pervade your mind, it always gets just plain miserable. If we see someone in a very negative way, who is harmed? That's a really good question. Who's harmed? Is that person harmed? Does he become worse due to our seeing that person negatively? Think about that. It's our own mind that becomes negative in this process. So if we don't work on it, it will become worse, such that we will become unable to get along with anyone. And anything can make us unhappy. So when you're in that kind of mood, that's exactly the experience. It doesn't matter almost who walks in the door, what's happening. Everything is just kind of not good. Therefore, it does not harm the person we see negatively. Rather, we are the one who receives the loss. Our negative outlook on other people harms ourselves. In the end, we will become angry even at people who want to make us happy, take us for a picnic, and so forth. It's just so true. It's sad, but it's true, and it's good to recognize it. I love reading this when my mind is negative, because it just what are you doing with your life? So we have to look at our mind, at our own mind. There are 2 things that can happen. When someone does good things, we can think how good that person is, and then we always want to talk to that person. Then we suffer when we cannot talk to him. If the people who we want to talk to do not talk to us, we become unhappy. The other way is thinking negatively about someone, and if that person who we do not want to talk to us talks to us, we become unhappy. So we're either attached, and we're not getting what we want, which is like dukkha anyway. I mean, what is one of the things in dukkha? We try so hard, no matter how hard we try, things don't always work out. You know, that's just part of it all. And samsara, we got to get out. So we should try to go in the madhyamaka, the middle way. Otherwise, if we go in these 2 ways, our minds will become weaker and weaker, and we ourselves are harmed. Even without anyone trying to cause problems for us, we become unhappy. So that's really worth having on your puja table when you recognize, actually I always see it this way, like somebody walks in the room, nothing's happened, and already I'm off to the races in whatever my mind is doing. And it could be positive, it could be, well, not positive, it could be like an attachment, like just over-exaggerating the good qualities of someone just as well. Either way, it doesn't seem to work. And so just, find a way to recognize these things going on, something that works for you. For me, that's the way I usually do it. And then I just pick up this piece of paper and read it a few times on my puja table and like, is this really working for me? It's kind of like talking to that teenager. Is that really working for you? Maybe this will help you too.